We are team number 4. Today we are going to talk about construction process of One World Trade Center from 2004 to the long-awaited opening in 2015. Let's take a look at the construction process of One World Trade Center, focusing on important events. One World Trade Center is considered the first major building whose construction is based on a three-dimensional building information model. The symbolic cornerstone of One World Trade Center was laid down in ceremony on July 4, 2004, but further construction of the tower was stalled until 2006. This is because there were disputes over money, security, and design, but the last major issues were resolved on April 26, 2006. Therefore, the construction of one WTC could begin. As you can see, they dug down to New York's bedrock and used explosives to clear some of this material away for 2 months. From there, concrete foundations were constructed, and the first column was lifted into place. Through this process, the foundation of the tower was almost completed, with the installation of two tower cranes based at the end of 2007. In January 2008, two construction cranes were moved into the construction site. The tower's concrete core began rising in the first months of 2008. By February 22, 2008, 9,400 of nearly 50,000 short tons of steel necessary had been ordered. By March 13, 2008, the steel for the tower had reached 70 feet high, 10 feet below street level. On May 17, the tower's steel reached street level when new sections were bolted to two of the 24 jumbo steel columns marking the building's footprint. The new column section brought the height of the structure up to 15 feet above street level. In June, the chamfered steel skeleton of tower's concrete base had begun to take shape. By the end of month, the concrete had been poured for the floor of the tower's basement level B3. By August, one WTC had reached 25 feet above street level. On October 10, Carabino Construction poured an additional 502 cubic yards of concrete for the tower's concrete core, raising it to just above street level. From late March through early April, 12-meter tall mock-up of section of the tower's wall with 24 windows was tested by Construction Consulting Laboratory, West California. The purpose of the testing was to ensure that the all-glass exterior of the tower will be able to withstand earthquake and extreme weather conditions. Testing also took place on another full-scale mock-up south of New Mexico. Both mock-up passed the test. In 2009, the foundation work was almost finished. A 70-ton perimeter column for One World Trade Center is lowered into place at ground zero. The jumbo column is the first that rises above street level. Each column is 60 feet high and will allow workers to start constructing the floor of the tower. In 2010, November 13, the first glass facade panels were installed on 20th floor. In 2011, One World Trade Center officially reached a height of 70 floors by speeding up construction, and the Ground Zero Memorial Space was completed. This picture is Ground Zero as viewed from the top of floor of One World Trade Center under construction. Finally, it is the 10th anniversary after the terrorist attack.
The American national anthem plays as firefighters and police proudly hold a torn stars and stripes, a flag that flew here on that fateful day. The president then, and the president now, inspect the memorial on the exact spot where the Twin Towers stood. There are now two dark pools, waterfalls on each side, the names of the dead engraved around the edge. Flight 11 hit the first tower at 8:46. Today, at exactly the same time, a moment of silence. At 9:03, the second tower was hit. And this year ordered the mission that killed Osama bin Laden, the man behind the attacks. He hopes it may provide a punctuation mark.
In 2012, on January and February, there had been a lot of problems bringing the construction to a standstill. Firstly, it's because of an unseasonable winter which caused high wind and icing conditions to form up top of the structure, making it hazardous for the construction worker. Compare the winter of 2012 to the average temperature. Temperature change is quick dramatic. This radical temperature change made icing problem at the top of structure. To add insult to injury, in early February, the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey had a conflict with DCM Erect, which took the part of supplement of the structure steel. The initial problem was slow payment of the agency of the port. It eventually ended up with the shoe of DCM for the port and DCM attempt to block steel from being delivered. But the judge didn't grant an injunction, so the construction could go on. As the problem solved, the construction kept going without a hitch. In May, the installation of the column on 100th floor made the structure 1,251 feet high, overtaking the Empire State Building to become New York tourist skyscrapers. After 2 months, the building exceeded the Empire State Building. Former President Barack Obama and other construction workers signed on the beam of ceremony to celebrate that the finish was closed. And within another 2 months, the building had risen to the 105th floor and structurally topped out. On May 10, 2013, the last two sections of the building's spire were installed. Work began on the construction of the plaza surrounding the building in late 2013, and interior work was finished in November 2014. The exterior elevator began removal in late January 2014 and concluded in early June 2014. On May 29, 2015, finally, the One World Trade Center Observatory at the tower's top opened. Thank you for our listening.